PSP proposes two policies, the Affordable Home Scheme and the Millennia Apartment Scheme, with the aim to reset our public housing system. This Affordable Home Scheme is designed to allow a Singaporean to buy a new flat at a user price, which is equal to the construction cost plus a notional location premium. If a Singaporean stays in the same flat his entire life, he will only pay the user price. At the point of purchase, the land cost for the flat will be made known and recorded with the HDB. If the Singaporean sells his flat in the resale market after the minimum occupation period, he will have to pay this land cost with accrued interest based on historical mortgage rates into the past reserves before pocketing the net profit. Thus, he ends up paying the full price of the flat. Our second proposal is the Millennia Apartments Scheme. The idea is for the government to keep a large stock of quality rental flats to provide young Singaporeans who desire more space and more independent living with more housing choices. We propose that the main supply of Millennia apartments come from prime locations near the central business district. These locations are currently highly sought after by buyers driven by the profit motive. But it is more equitable not to sell all the HDB flats in the prime locations, but to keep a larger portion of them for rental, so that a broader range of Singaporeans can access these flats. It is important to reiterate that the two schemes will not raid the reserves, no matter what the government may say. We only need the government to make up its mind, and we can execute the reset as swiftly as we have tackled the COVID-19 pandemic. On this Valentine's Day, the best Valentine's Day present that this government can give a young Singaporean couple is an affordable and accessible HDB flat.
Mr. Leong has moved from excluding his former position from excluding land cost totally from BTO flats to now a deferred land cost. Now, according to this proposal, from what I heard, a buyer will need to pay only one, a construction cost, and two, a notional location cost. HDB will then record the historical cost of this flat, which will then be clawed back when a buyer decides to sell. This way, according to Mr. Leong, a Tengah flat, which was quoted at 350,000, would go for 140,000. And I guess it would just take 1 to 2 years of annual pay, annual pay to pay up this flat. And if the owner decides to stay, then he will get to keep the flat at 140,000, a flat indeed without land cost. Mr. Leong is indeed proposing a very big Valentine gift of a double subsidy.
Some of the arguments put up by Mr. Leong, I think, whilst I'm no property expert, and neither is he, I think it's going to lead to a decrease in BTO prices. It's going to lead to a decrease in resale prices. And not that it has not happened. I think, if my memory serves me right, in 2003, 2004, after the 1997 financial crisis, there were unsold HDB flats. Yes, tens of thousands of them. And there was walk-in selection, where people walk in and they buy the walk-in flat lower than the people who have queued for the flat. So be careful what you wish for, because if I go by your methodology, we can be in a lot of trouble, you know. So the song goes again, be careful what you wish for. I wish I could sing it to you, you know, but the standing orders don't allow me to. Really? Standing orders are silent? I thought you can't sing in chamber. Okay, never mind.
Yes, but I say please don't. Thank you.
With respect,
I question the Honourable NCMP's assumption that Singaporeans were expecting VERS to be like SERS for all. He is respectfully playing a dangerous game. For those who have purchased resale flats, they would know the remaining length of the leaseholds beforehand. This would allow them to make informed choices before purchasing the resale flats. For example, they may decide to purchase resale flats that may have substantial remainders left that will allow them to monetize their assets like owners of BTO flats. Or they can decide to buy leaseholds which are long enough for them to stay in their homes until the end of their lives, which will naturally mean that the opportunity to monetize their assets will not be as good. Whatever the reasons, they know when the leaseholds will expire. Against this context, it seems to me unreasonable for a person who purchased a resale flat, knowing full well when the leasehold expires, to then expect to get compensation that's substantially more than the value of the tail end of the leasehold under VERS. It may be useful to remember what PM said in his 2018 NDR speech. He specifically made the point that there was not much financial upside to VERS as compared to SERS. Given what the PM had said, I struggle to understand why the Honourable NCMP, Mr. Leong, contends that Singaporeans are expecting VERS to be like SERS for all. What is in fact asking Singaporeans is to dream an impossible dream and then ask the government to make it true. If we were kind, we would say he's being naive. But if we were honest, we would say something else.